Imagine you walking into a room. You don't shout, you don't demand attention, yet people take notice. They pause, they listen, not out of fear, but out of respect. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the emperor-philosopher. Think of Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders. Neither needed to raise their voice to be heard. Their presence alone spoke for them. Their words, few but deliberate, carried weight. This isn't luck. It's mastery, the art of silent power. Picture this. You're in a meeting, a social event, or even just standing in line. Someone is speaking fast, trying to dominate the conversation, filling every silence with nervous energy. Meanwhile, you remain still, composed. When you finally speak, your words are measured, precise, and everyone stops to listen. What makes a person truly commanding? Is it their voice, status, size, or the number of people backing them? Number. It's something deeper, something unspoken. This is the power of presence. When you're in control of yourself, you naturally command the room. The Stoics understood this well. True strength doesn't come from proving yourself, but from knowing yourself. In this video, I'll share 8 powerful habits that will make people respect you. Not because you ask for it, but because you embody it. These are the same principles that leaders, warriors, and visionaries have used throughout history. Drop a comment. Have you ever met someone who commanded respect without even trying? What was it about them? And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's unlock the habits that turn words into influence and presence into power. Habit number 1. Move slowly and deliberately. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A person's worth is measured by the things they let disturb them. In a world that rushes, the one who moves with purpose stands apart." Confidence isn't found in hurried steps or frantic speech. It's in control. Control over your body, your time, your presence. Think of the most respected person you know. Did they fidget? Did they speak too fast, trying to fill every silence? Or did they move with calm certainty, carrying themselves as if they had nowhere better to be? Contrast that with someone who rushes into a room, speaking too quickly, shifting nervously, always trying to keep up. No matter what they say, their body reveals the truth. They are not in control. This is why Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders never rushes. Even in danger, he moves with measured precision. He isn't slow because he hesitates. He's slow because he owns the moment. His presence controls the room, not the other way around. I once made the mistake of thinking confidence meant keeping up. I spoke fast, moved quickly, and tried to match the pace of those around me. But instead of commanding respect, I looked like I was chasing it. Then I started watching those who truly had presence. They didn't rush. They didn't fidget. When they walked, they took their time. When they spoke, they paused. And when they looked at someone, they held their gaze, not with arrogance, but with certainty. That's when I realized the world follows those who move at their own pace. The moment you stop rushing, you stop seeking approval. And that's when people start paying attention. So, how do you train this? 1. Slow down. Walk into a room 20% slower than usual. Feel the difference. You're no longer reacting to the energy around you. You're controlling it. 2. Practice stillness. Sit in a chair and observe yourself. Are you tapping your foot, adjusting too much? Stop. The less you move, the more powerful your presence becomes. 3. Pause before responding. When someone asks you a question, take a breath. Let the silence build. Let them lean in. Seneca once said, "A great man is known not by how much he speaks, but by how much he controls himself." This is your challenge. Discipline yourself to move with purpose. Let go of the need to rush. Speak with patience. Carry yourself with control, and watch as the world starts to listen. Number 2, Mastering eye contact. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever flow if you are willing to dig." If controlled movement gives you command over space, then eye contact gives you command over human interaction. No words are needed, just the ability to look someone in the eye and, without speaking, convey, "I am here. I am unshaken." Imagine this. You're in a conversation, but the other person keeps glancing away. Their eyes dart down, then to the side, avoiding direct contact. What's your first impression? Likely that they're uncertain, nervous, perhaps even hiding something. Now, picture someone else, someone who meets your gaze with calm, steady presence. They don't stare aggressively, nor do they fidget. Their eye contact is effortless, controlled. And in that moment, you feel it. They are fully present, fully in command of themselves. This is why characters like Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders demand respect without saying a word. When he looks at someone, he doesn't force his gaze, but he also doesn't break it too soon. He doesn't need to intimidate. His stillness does the work for him. I used to struggle with this, not because I was afraid, but because I wasn't yet comfortable with stillness. I would break eye contact too soon, unintentionally signaling hesitation. And every time I did, it made me seem less certain than I actually was. But when I trained myself to hold my gaze just a little longer, something changed. People started listening more intently. They took my words more seriously, not because I changed what I said, but because I changed how I carried myself. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca once said, "A person's eyes reveal more truth than their words ever could." Your gaze reflects your mind. If your mind is restless, anxious, or uncertain, it will show. Your eyes will dart, shift, escape. But if your mind is steady, rooted in its own confidence, your eyes will hold firm. So how do you train this? 1. Start with the 1-second rule. In your next conversation, hold eye contact just 1 second longer than usual before looking away. That extra second makes all the difference. 2. The strategic break. If you must look away, don't drop your gaze downward, which signals submission. Instead, shift it to the side. Third mirror training. Stand in front of a mirror and hold your own gaze for 30 seconds. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but soon it will feel natural. 4. Observe and learn. Watch those who command respect, whether in real life or on screen. Notice how their eyes move, how they hold their presence without force. Epictetus once taught, "The more you practice self-control, the less you will fear the gaze of others." Master your eye contact, and you will master your presence. Hold your gaze, hold your mind, and the world will hold you in higher regard. Number 3. Do not react. The power of staying unshaken. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to true strength." In every confrontation, there is a moment where the balance of power shifts, not because of who speaks the loudest, but because of who remains silent the longest. True power is not in reacting, but in choosing when and how to respond. Imagine 2 people in a heated argument. One raises their voice, growing agitated, desperate to prove their point. The other? They do not react. They listen. They observe. Their expression remains unchanged. While the first person burns energy, the second absorbs everything, calculating their next move. Who really holds the power in that moment? Most people are ruled by their emotions. A small criticism makes them defensive. A rude driver cuts them off, and they erupt in anger. Someone disagrees with them, and they argue endlessly, unable to let go. But reactivity is weakness. It means you are letting external events dictate your emotions. The Stoics understood this well. Control over oneself is the highest form of strength. I once worked with a man who embodied this principle. No matter what happened, tight deadlines, aggressive clients, unexpected setbacks, he never raised his voice, never panicked. Even when criticized directly, he simply nodded, took a breath, and responded in calm, measured words. People listened to him not because he demanded respect, but because his presence commanded it. He showed no need to defend himself, no urge to react impulsively. And that is exactly why others trusted him. The world constantly tests you. It will push, provoke, and try to pull you into emotional chaos. But your strength is in your ability to remain still. When you refuse to react, you force others to reveal themselves first. You make them show their weaknesses while you remain unreadable, untouchable. This is Stoicism in action. Seneca once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." You do not control the world. You only control how you respond to it. So, how do you train this skill? 1. Pause before reacting. When something upsets you, do nothing for 2 seconds. Let the emotion pass through you before choosing a response. 2. Control your body language, your breathing, your hands, your posture. Keep them steady. A calm body signals a calm mind. 3. Master the power of silence. In conflict, resist the urge to respond immediately. Let silence linger. It will unnerve the other person more than any words ever could. 4. Detach from emotional triggers. When someone insults you, ask yourself, does their opinion change my reality? Most of the time, the answer is no. And if it does not affect your reality, why let it affect your emotions? The next time someone tries to provoke you, try this. Do nothing, breathe, observe. Let them show their hand first. Let them waste their energy while you conserve yours. Let them react while you remain in control. Epictetus once taught, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." When you stop reacting to everything around you, you gain an unfair advantage in life. While others waste their energy on emotions, you remain steady, calculating, in control. And in a world full of noise, those who master their emotions will always command respect. Number 4. Expand your presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." Some people walk into a room, and without saying a word, they are noticed. Others can talk for hours and still feel invisible. The difference? Presence. Presence isn't about size, volume, or force. It's about how you carry yourself, the way you take up space, move, and engage with the world. A person with true presence doesn't demand attention. They attract it effortlessly. Imagine watching two speakers. One keeps their hands close to their body, voice uncertain, movements restricted. The other expands. They stand tall, gesture with confidence, make deliberate eye contact, and take their time speaking. Who do you pay attention to? The second person commands the room, not by being louder, but by owning their space. This isn't just about public speaking. It applies everywhere. In a business meeting, a social setting, or even a one-on-one conversation. Your ability to expand your presence determines how people respond to you. I once knew someone who mastered this effortlessly. He wasn't the loudest in the room, but when he spoke, people stopped and listened. Not because of what he said, but because of how he carried himself. His posture was strong yet relaxed, his gestures intentional, his presence larger than his physical frame. He never had to fight for attention. He simply commanded it. You can develop this same quality. Here's how. 1. Stand taller. Straighten your back. Pull your shoulders slightly back and keep your chin up. Good posture instantly makes you appear more confident and engaged. 2. Use open gestures. Avoid keeping your hands in your pockets or crossing your arms. Instead, gesture naturally with open palms and controlled movements. 3. Match your presence to the room. Speaking to one person, keep your gestures subtle. Speaking to a group, expand them. The larger the audience, the bigger your movements should be. 4. Own the pause. Don't rush your words. Allow pauses between sentences. Silence makes people lean in and listen more closely. 5. Move with purpose. When you walk into a room, do so deliberately. Don't hesitate, don't shuffle. Every step should reflect certainty. Seneca once said, "The strongest presence belongs to those who do not seek approval." The world respects those who carry themselves like they belong. Walk into every room with purpose, speak with presence, move with confidence, because when you own your space, the world takes notice. Number 5. Speak with conviction. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Never allow your mind to be a slave to what it does not control. Speak only what is necessary, and let your words reflect your truth." Most people weaken their own words without realizing it. They say, "I think this might work. I'm not sure, but maybe we could try. Hopefully, it will go well." These phrases drain power from their speech. They signal uncertainty and hesitation, as if they are waiting for permission instead of leading the conversation. Now, imagine someone who speaks with clarity and certainty. This is the right approach. We will get this done. Here's the next step. No extra words. No unnecessary doubt, just a firm, confident statement. When you speak this way, people believe you, not because you are louder, but because your words carry weight. And when your words have weight, people listen. I once had a colleague who was highly skilled and knowledgeable, but every time he spoke, he softened his words. "I think this could work, but I'm not sure." Even when he was absolutely right, people overlooked his suggestions. His words lacked conviction. But one day, he changed his approach. He stopped using hesitant language and started speaking directly. And suddenly, people started taking him seriously. His ideas had always been good. The difference was how he delivered them. This is what great leaders understand. Your voice doesn't need to be louder. Your words need to be stronger. So, how do you train this habit? 1. Eliminate weak words. Remove phrases like "I think," "maybe," "I guess," and "hopefully." Replace them with clear, direct statements. 2. Lower your tone at the end of sentences. A rising tone makes statements sound like questions. Keep your tone steady or lower it slightly to sound firm and assured. 3. Slow down. Speaking too fast signals nervousness. Instead, slow your pace, pause where needed, and give your words space to land. 4. Say less, mean more. Don't over-explain. State your point, then let silence do the rest. Confidence is knowing you don't need to justify every word. Seneca once said, "A wise man speaks because he has something to say, not because he fears silence." If you want people to respect your words, stop asking for permission with your tone. Speak less, but say more. Speak calmly, but with force. And watch as people stop just hearing you. They start listening. Number 6. Slow down your speech. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let your words be measured, and your speech be calm. Speak only when necessary, and always with purpose." We've built control over our movement, our gaze, our reactions, and our presence. But now, we turn to something just as powerful, the way we speak. Most people rush their words. They speak quickly because they fear silence, filling every gap with unnecessary phrases, diluting their message. But those who speak slowly, deliberately, with purpose, those are the ones people truly listen to. Imagine two people telling a story. The first rushes through, words spilling over each other. Their energy is high, but their message, forgettable. The second speaks with intent. They let silence hang between sentences. When they pause, It's not because they've lost their train of thought. It's because they are letting their words sink in. Which one do you listen to more? Slowing down forces people to pay attention. It adds weight to your words, making even simple statements sound profound. Great leaders, actors, and philosophers all understand this. True power isn't just in what you say, but in how you say it. So, how do you train this habit? 1. The 1-second rule. After key sentences, pause for 1 extra second. Notice how it makes people lean in. 2. Lower your pace by 10%. The next time you speak, intentionally slow down. It will feel unnatural at first, but to others, it will sound powerful. 3. Use strategic pauses. Before saying something important, pause. Silence creates tension, making people hang on to your next word. Seneca once said, "The man who masters silence masters speech." Master this, and you won't just be heard, you will be remembered. Number 7. Use leverage. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The mind adapts and converts obstacles into opportunities. What stands in the way becomes the way." Powerful people do not beg. They do not rely on hope, luck, or the goodwill of others to get what they want. Instead, they understand leverage, the ability to shape outcomes, by knowing what others desire and fear. Most people approach persuasion the wrong way. They ask for things without offering a reason. They hope for cooperation instead of creating a reason for others to comply. They speak in terms of what they want, rather than what benefits the other person. Imagine 2 employees asking for a raise. 1. The first says, "I've been here for a while and I'd really like a raise. Can you increase my salary?" 2. The second says, "Over the past 6 months, I've taken on additional responsibilities and improved key performance areas. I'd like to discuss how I can continue adding value at a higher level. What would you need to see from me in the next 3 months to make that happen?" Who do you think gets the raise? The difference is leverage. The second person does not plead, they position. They shift the conversation from a favor to a mutually beneficial negotiation. This applies to every area of life. If you want people to listen, support, or agree with you, remember, people don't care about what you want. They care about what serves them. So, how do you apply this? Frame requests around value. Instead of asking directly, position it in a way that benefits the other party. Make them see why it's in their interest. Control the options. Give choices that still lead to your desired outcome. Instead of asking, "Can we meet?" say, "Would Wednesday or Thursday work better for you?" Have a plan B. People respect those who have alternatives. If you negotiate, always have a backup option so you are never in a position of desperation. Use silence to your advantage. After making a request, say nothing. Many people talk themselves out of leverage by over-explaining. Let silence do the work. Seneca once said, "The world does not reward those who merely wish. It rewards those who position themselves wisely." Master this, and you will never have to beg for what you deserve. Number 8. Build inner confidence. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Everything we've covered so far, your movements, your eye contact, your ability to stay unshaken, your presence, your speech, your persuasion, none of it matters if you lack the one thing that holds it all together: inner confidence. Most people believe confidence comes from external validation, status, appearance, approval from others. But real confidence, the kind that commands respect, comes from within. It is the unshakable belief that you can handle whatever comes your way, no matter the situation. Think about the most respected people you've met. Were they the loudest in the room? Did they constantly seek to prove themselves? Or did they move through life with quiet certainty, as if they had nothing to prove? This is true confidence. It is not arrogance, it is not pretending to be fearless. It is knowing, deep in your core, that you are enough, without needing validation. A Stoic does not wait for the world to recognize their worth. They act in accordance with their values, and let respect come as a byproduct of how they live. So, how do you build this kind of confidence? Keep promises to yourself. Confidence isn't built overnight. It is forged through consistency. Every time you set a goal and follow through, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. Detach from external approval. Ask yourself, if no one were watching, would I still do this? If the answer is yes, then it is worth doing. Expose yourself to discomfort. Confidence grows in adversity. Speak up when it's uncomfortable. Take on challenges that scare you. Each time you push past fear, you expand your limits. Accept that you are enough. The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you become truly powerful. You are not defined by how others see you, but by how you see yourself. Seneca once said, "A man's true power lies in his ability to master himself." At the end of the day, respect is not something you demand, it's something you attract. When you walk with certainty, when you trust your own abilities, when you live in alignment with your principles, people take notice. And the best part? By that point, you won't need their validation anymore. We've explored 8 habits that transform how the world perceives you. Not quick tricks, but principles of self-mastery. Move with purpose. Own your presence. Speak with conviction. Stay unshaken. The moment you stop chasing respect is the moment you command it effortlessly. If this resonated with you, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. True power starts within. Master these habits, and the world will take notice. In the next video, we'll go even deeper. Are you ready?